Recently, when my father died, I got to go through some books that had gone through my mom and my aunt and my father. And I was reminded of a devotional that was given to my grandmother by the five of us in my family, and then passed back to my aunt. And she was writing notes in it of where she had found different things. This one, she wrote a note in on October 5 of 1975. The verse is from 1 Chronicles 26:30. His brethren were in the business of the Lord and in the service of the king. Some time ago, it says, I came across this little poem dealing with the subject of church attendance. Some go to church just for a walk. Some go there to laugh and talk. Some go there to gain a lover. Some go there, their faults to cover. Some go there for observation. Some go there for speculation. Some go there to sleep and nod, but few go there to worship God. Although this presents a somewhat exaggerated situation, it does remind us of our obligation to make sure that our purpose in attending church is a proper one. It should be for fellowship, instruction, and worship, and these things in turn should be stepping stones to service. The religious section of one of our newspapers carried an article by a minister who related the following story. Entering a church one Sunday morning, a man asked, "When will this service be over?" An usher replied, "The congregation is still at worship, sir, but the service will actually begin when the people leave the church." If our worship is simply a matter of going through some religious motions, if it fails to transform and change our lives, if it does not thrust us forth as effective and zealous servants of Christ, then it's failing to achieve one of its major objectives. Worship of God and service for Him should go hand in hand. Let us then be fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. That's from Romans 12:1. There's another poem here at the end by Fresneau. It says, I went to church one morning and sat in a comfortable pew, but the offering I gave to Jesus was far too small, I knew. I bent my knees before Him, and with contrite heart I did pray, Lord, I'll not only call you Master, but heed the words you say. Then at the bottom of these devotionals that were read around our breakfast table from the time I was a child, it says, the feast of the sermon results in spiritual indigestion unless followed by religious exercise. I want you to get three things from this. Number one, heritage matters. What are you teaching the littles in your life, the younger people, the younger generation? We don't want to just condemn them. We want to pour our lives into them. And what you do, even for a child, will stick with them. You want to know how I became the person I am that God uses as your pastor? I had this poured into me from the time I can remember. The second thing I want you to remember is that worship isn't about being in the building or getting to talk to people or even the type of music we sing. Worship is about, well, it's everything about God and how God wants to train us and teach us and transform our lives and how we want to be transformed. This isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. And then the third thing I want you to remember is there will be people who come to church for the wrong reasons, and we're so glad they're there because that's where transformation happens. That's my prayer for you this week, that you will be transformed and it will change the lives of others.